Hey, Gabrielle. Hey, Buttercup. Hey, Uncle Buck. Hey, Vanna. Yeah, my mom's gonna be taking him to the vet tomorrow. So we'll see. I think not eating. Lots of meowing and yowling. He seems to be in pain. Hi, Rebecca. Hi, Jelton. Hey, Angela. Hey, Melanie. She thinks it's either kidney issues, or bad arthritis. But either way, yeah, he's just not doing well. So she's gonna take him to the vet tomorrow, and no, I work. Okay. Yeah, he's up there in age. Not sure exactly how old he is, but he's up there. Thanks, Vanna. But yeah, it's looking pretty likely. It's looking pretty likely that she might that he yeah that it might just be time. We'll see, but it very well might just be time. Hi, Shirley. So yeah, that's it. Does suck. Poor guy. There's that. Yeah. Kicking off the stream by bringing everyone's mood down. Definitely definitely a smart way of doing things. We put our dog down. I thought it was gonna die. Yeah. Yeah. Sucks putting a pet down. Hey, Brooke. Um, he hasn't been eating. He's been walking around, sort of a lot of yowling. Um, so he seems to be in pain. My mom suspects either kidney issues or maybe just bad arthritis. So yeah, the fact that he's not eating, that would lean towards. Second. One second, just responding to an email from my mom. One second there. Hey, Catherine. I don't even remember. Um, he's up there. He's definitely up there in age. Um, yeah, I mean, my mom seems to be okay. Yeah, like, it's rough. No, she's taking him tomorrow. She's got an appointment for tomorrow. My first time in that. No, it's been a while since she's had to take a cat to the vet, but yeah. Or like since you said to take cat to be put down, but yeah. Still sucks. So, yeah, kind of a bummer on my night off. And I was just sitting here looking at me. I haven't bugging yet. Definitely a bummer for my night off. Mom did ask if I wanted to go down to spend some time with them, and if I'd seen the email earlier, I probably would have. But feels a bit late to head over there now. Is your mom emailing you? Because she's not, because she doesn't want to text. I think she just doesn't like texting. She's not really comfortable like typing on a phone. Want more? Unfortunately, I work 5 to midnight tomorrow. Your cover videos. Is that far approved? Middle of my Sharona. Get It Up from the Touch of the Younger Kind still sounds creepy when sung by a woman. But yeah, she's not comfortable texting, so she emailed me. She probably could have called, but might be as well as she didn't really know what time I'd be up or shit, whether I'd be working. She might not have remembered if I'm working tonight or not. Hey, Sherilyn. That is them. Sometimes email is easier for him. Yeah. Yeah, easier typing on a full keyboard. Country Roads never sounded better than John. Every version of Country Roads that's not John Denver sounds better. Be honored to get an email from your mom. Watching the... Nope. I will not be watching the opening ceremonies. Nope. $99 balloons better than 9 Vegas version. I think I still think Nina's version. I think Nina's version is still better, whether in English or German. I think her version is better, but it's a good cover. Well, I think it's Priscilla On's cover of Country Roads that I did. There's another cover Priscilla On did. I mean, she's not a few. Another one that really would have worked. She did a cover of Opportunity to Cry, which I think originally was Willie Nelson. So I also could have done her cover of Opportunity to Cry, which is just really, really good. But I forgot about that one, actually. That's how I feel about anything sung by Bob Dylan. He's not one of my favorites. You can understand the Gauchela's version. Bob Dylan isn't one of my favorite singers. But I mean, there's a couple of his songs that I do enjoy. Yeah, Subterranean Homesick Blues. It's a good song. And I don't think it would be the same done by somebody else. That's one of the songs where I feel like his voice really actually does elevate it. Like it just sort of makes it perfect. Randy did a Killer Zombie cover. So I mean, that's not one where the original is always going to be better. No one will ever do a cover of Zombie that's as good as the original. Now she's begging for treats. Aw. Don't give your cat Tylenol. That's speaking from experience there. Choose music by mood. Yeah. I must just have all my music playing. Yeah. I basically just like, got like, what is it, like 5,000 songs. I've got 5,000 songs on my computer, and I don't like organize them or anything like that. So that when tomorrow work is over, I will last day and a half, not wake up at the crack of midnight. You can imagine. Hey, Denise. Because like I don't use like Spotify or any of those things like that. I just download the music that I. This band's good. Let me check out more of their stuff. Hey, this song's good. I'll download it to my computer. This is a good song. I'll keep this one. A bunch of different playlists and two lists that are just everything metaphorically shipped into the kitchen trunk drawer. Yeah, I don't bother with playlists. So. If the song comes on that I don't feel like listening to, I just hit skip. I just hit next. And yeah, as far as like 5,000 songs, I mean, that's. Kind of years and years of, 30 years of collecting them, basically. Hard to do skip on a treadmill or listening to 200 plus bands. Plus bands. Yeah, that's why I don't exercise. Terrified of eating track on a treadmill. Hey, cakes. Nothing much. Just enjoying my night off. Come in handy when I can deadlift a car. Back to work. Yeah, working this week. Hey, Pamela. Got 3 shifts this week, 23 hours total. Used to use Kazaa, whatever to demo. Rocket, that was weird for your music apps years ago. Cat is aggressively licking my arm. Aw, that's cute. Patiently waiting to begin his FF8 run. Who, me? FF8? That is Timbit. That is Timbit. I don't actually, hey Rebecca. I don't actually have a Kingsley emote. But yeah, for FF8, FF8's only going to happen if I can get back to FF7, and that's only going to happen. They're going to be Steam is going to be doing like a new version of FF7, replacing the existing version that they've got on there. So I'm waiting for that to be released, and hoping that I'll actually be able to record that one. Because for some reason, I can't actually record FF7 on OBS now on this computer. I don't know why, but whenever I try to open FF7, like whenever I try to record FF7 using OBS on this computer, it's just black. All I'm recording is a black screen. I tried a bunch of different things, try to figure out what it, I tried a bunch of different things to get it to work. Nothing worked. Tried different programs. They were either shitty or didn't work. Hey, Christina. Shirt review. Yeah, just one of my Sailor Moon shirts. Yeah, so weird. Like, it's like I must have tried like 10 different streaming programs, or like recording, not streaming, but recording programs. OBS and Streamlabs were the only two I found where first of all, you can actually it shows like a screen of what you're recording, and they have a pause button. Two things that to me feel like, why the fuck would this not be come standard? Like, two things that to me, like, why the fuck would any recording program not have those two fucking things? A screen, or showing like what you're recording and being able to pause the recording. Not stop, but pause. All of them is just like record or stop recording. Hey, Souls. And like, if stop recording, like, and like I don't want to have to spend time like I don't want to have to take like 20 or 30 fucking clips and merge them all together. I don't have the fucking patience for that. Because that would be what I'd end up having to do. I'd have like, I drink a glass of water with no ice as well. I mean, it's still cold water. Like I spend like, for like a 45-minute video, I might have 10 to 15 different, I might pause multiple times during that video. So if I'm having to stop each time, then I'm going to have 10 to 15 videos, and then I need to fucking merge them. No, fuck that. Do not have the patience for that. Especially because, like, oh great, now I need to learn the program to do that. I have not eaten dinner yet. Now I slept in pretty late, so and yes, rice as usual. Check a couple people. They might be able to offer suggestions. Make stir fried rice, cheap and delicious. When I'm at, you know, if I do end up staying at Chantel's place, yeah, it is going to depend on whether she actually does go out, or whether she does actually end up going on her trip. But assuming I do end up, house sitting for her, I might try a stir fry there. Can't really do a stir fry here. Not for still stands with the cooking. I mean, I wouldn't say it'll be a tutorial because it'll be me learning to do a stir fry. I know some young gamers. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I tried a bunch of different things. Pork, chicken, or beef. Probably pork. I'm gonna say probably pork would be probably my favorite. I wasn't drinking cooking streams. Yeah, I always had fun doing them. It's my favorite dish. I do like roast beef or like a T-bone steak. Love me a T-bone. Haven't had a T-bone forever. Lamb. I like lamb. It's just that's not something I get to eat very often, or ever really. Philos here in Cornwall. Philos used to have lamb chops, but not for a long, long time. Pork is usually cheap, and I try to make char siu, Chinese barbecue pork. Use leftovers and leftover rice to make a killer barbecue pork stir fry. I mean, let's not get too fancy. The old rice is the trick to make a perfect stir fry. Dear, not many people. Lamb chops? You're saying not many people are keen on lamb chops? Lamb in general? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'd say it's not too popular here in North America. Tin pans of lamb in the freezer to deal with. Nah. It reminds me of my mom and grandma. There's a mint chili with it. Popular way of doing it, yeah. Brown ale lamb stew. It's flush was in your freezer. Catchy buttercup. That is like 85% meat. Especially beef, because delicious and that sweet natural creatine. Ketosis. Vegetarian, but I always buy all sorts of meat on sale for my dad. Well, that's nice of you. Yeah, speaking of meat, I actually got a poop. Don't normally have to poop while I'm on screen, but yeah, I gotta go poop. There, yeah. I'll be back in a few minutes. Alright, I'm back. Hi, strawberries. Hey, foodie. Like a foodie stream leaving us to go poop. Anyway, Kingsley. He hasn't been eating past couple days. So yeah, he hasn't been eating the past couple days, and he seems to be in pain. Okay, so the slushies from Monday to Wednesday. Fair enough. Fair enough. Probably. Yeah, unfortunately, Strawberry, it probably does. Um, she's taking him to the vet tomorrow. Um, it does seem pretty likely, but yeah, does seem pretty likely that it's just going to be time for him. Yeah, I would expect so. I think not strawberries. No eating's been said. Yeah, it's never a good sign. He is up there in age. Um, hey, Jamie. It is my birthday tomorrow, and I will be working. So yeah, unfortunately, I won't be able to come on tomorrow. Same job. Unfortunately, no. I work seven. I work 5 to midnight tomorrow. So yeah, like it's 5 o'clock to midnight. Like I will not be coming on. So yeah, I will also again. It's getting hours. Yeah, I got 23 hours this week. Yeah, so I'm going out to dinner with my family on Saturday, which means I am very likely not going to be on Saturday. Appointment or the reservation is for 6:30. Where am I supposed to celebrate? Sunday, I suppose. 2 days after my birthday. Um, so yeah, reservation is for 6:30. Um, you know, can't imagine I'll be home particularly early. And by the time I do get home, I'm probably gonna be like, like I'll imagine I'll probably have like a lot, big meal and everything. So I'll probably be not really in a mood to come live. Shitty way of phrasing it. Strawberries. And I suppose that'll come down to how my mom feels. Gonna have to meet shit. I probably will have the shits. I expect that, yeah, I'll probably have the shits. I pause. The Olympics. Pass. I don't care about sports. Reservations somewhere nice. Yeah, yeah, somewhere fairly nice. I'll just send you a birthday message, but then saw the title of the stream. Yeah. I have looked at the menu for the restaurant. Haven't fully decided what I'm going to get. I've forgotten what they have. Don't get shrips. Alcoholic drink or cocktail. But I don't like alcoholic drinks or cocktails. I don't drink them because I don't enjoy them. Unless you're saying I deserve something I don't like. No drugs, no booze. Yep. Carrot cake. Probably not. Always look at the menu first, too. And I'm going to look at the menu again. I will say, it's a pretty fucking tiny menu. They don't have a particularly large menu, this place. All right, I think I know what I'm. Jumping through the screen. Plus to see him for his birthday. I think I know what I'm getting. I'll tell you. I'll tell you what I get when I. Next time I see y'all, I'll tell you what I got. You can get a milkshake for your birthday. Sadly, I don't think they have one. And yes, good job, Buttercup. And I missed that it was Shelly reminding Buttercup. Good job, Shelly. Good job, Shelly. At least someone around here is on top of shit. Not yet. Pause. I will be having ricey rice for dinner. Be making it afterwards. Is this okay? That's entirely up to Chantel at this point. Do you admire that she speaks about political stuff that you're watching? No? She was in here when I started typing? Yeah. She comes and goes like the wind. I will admit, um, like, I get why a lot of streamers and, want to avoid politics. Yeah, don't want to risk alienating potential audience. But it also always kind of feels like weirdly cowardly to me. Usually people escape. I mean, fair, I suppose. People like wanting to get away from politics, but like at the same time, if somebody supports ICE, I don't really care if they want. I don't really want them watching. If someone's like, "Yay, ICE," their opinions are invalid, and I don't really want them watching me. I don't really want to interact with that person. If I support Trump, would you block me? Probably. Yeah, or used to watch politics nonstop, and then when Trump went, no joke, I thought I was going to have a nervous breakdown. Or if someone's political stance is, I am opposed to an inheritance tax. Whatever, fine, sure. I disagree. I disagree with you, but it's a valid political position. If their political position is, uh, I don't think gay marriage should be legal, get the fuck out. It's I don't want those viewers. So the people were like, you I feel like there's a degree of cowardice in streamers trying to like hide their politics or like not wanting to talk about politics. Yeah, I get it's like, escapism. It's like I don't want to talk about I don't want to talk about serious shit. Like if their position is I don't want to talk about serious shit, I just this is just silly haha fun time. Then fine. Yeah. So if they're not talking about like if they don't have discussions about morality or about mortality, if they're not talking about people dying either, and they're not talking about you know if cancer is something they avoid talking about, like if they're avoiding just serious topics in general, then sure. But you know, otherwise, if it is one of those things where they talk about whatever comes up, and they do talk about serious topics, but they avoid politics. Granddaughter growing up with less rights than I had when I was growing up. Yeah. Have some convictions and have some courage to stand by them. It's one of those things just like two times find it very hard to express myself on the side of the conversation. And that's also a thing. Some people just have trouble expressing it, and like if they're a friend about like I have opinions, I'm just not good at expressing them. It's hard to blame them for that. You're telling me it's impossible to have a serious conversation on this then showing proper respect. Makes it tougher for sure. Sounds I really do believe in Davey's dream. Yeah, but Xavier didn't go far enough. Xavier's approach kind of sucked, frankly. Xavier was all about model minority bullshit. You know, same thing with same goals, an entirely different approach. Yeah. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. Bullshit. Xavier and Magneto were not based on King and Malcolm. Magneto was just a fucking generic 60s villain. Absolutely nothing in comic value. He was just straight up a generic 60s conquer the world villain. That's all he was. There was no there was no great theme or meaning behind him. And Xavier was not King. Because Xavier hid the fact that he was a mutant. He wasn't out there giving speeches. Oh, idea about all that. Okay, I thought you were, yeah, because we were talking about like Xavier. But yeah, people tend to like. There's this idea that Xavier is MLK and Magneto is Malcolm X, and it's like it's ahistorical nonsense. Absolutely not something that Kirby or Lee had in mind with those two characters. Um, people did start, you know, basically what happened was like some readers sort of injected sort of the metaphor into it, and Lee and Stan Lee never shied away from a good story. Like Stan Lee never let the truth get in the way of a good story. So, you know, people asked him about, the idea, the Xavier King and Magneto Malcolm. And he went, sure, that sounds like a compelling story. Why not? Sure. Absolutely. Because, yeah, Stanley, like I said, never let the truth get in the way of a good story. Also, never let anything get in the way of making himself look better. He was a very, very self aggrandizing man. I don't remember what comic it was or who the artist was. But one of the comics in the 60s, because, like, always, in comics, writer comes first, like, writer gets listed first. Yeah, like, is that way back in the 60s, it's that way today. It's always been a thing where, like, in comics, the writer's name comes first. It's just sort of traditional. Um, but back in the 60s, it was kind of shitty because Stan Lee, there were some comics Stan Lee barely wrote at all. Yeah. For the most part, all he was doing was punching up the dialogue, adding captions. Like, the artist was the one coming up with the actual story. It was the Marvel method. Stanley would go to the artist with, like, hey, here's my idea for the story. And then the artist would be the one to actually plot. Um, so the artists were really doing the heavy duty, heavy lifting on the storytelling, which is not to diminish Stanley's role. The dialogue really was a big selling point. Like, that hip dialogue that he did, goofy by the standards of the time, but it was a huge part of the appeal. It felt cooler than what other comics were doing at the time. So that's not to, like, say that his writing wasn't a huge part of Marvel's success. It absolutely was. Um, just that, the artists were doing the heavy lifting in terms of the actual story. Um, so, and a lot of the artists felt annoyed at the fact that Stan Lee was taking so much of the credit, or getting so much of the credit. And I like, also, Stan Lee was, like, a massive ambassador for comics, and Marvel Comics in particular. He was going out and speaking to colleges and, places like that. He was going out and telling people about comics. He was going out and talking about them, while the artists were not. They were just, head down, focus on the work. Um, and a lot of the artists at the time resented Stan Lee for getting so much of the fame and popularity and credit. So I don't remember what comic it was, but one of the artists had apparently complained about Stan Lee's name always coming first in the credits. So Stan Lee decided to make a joke with it. So on the credits page, there's like a little caption saying, uh, "Our artist was, you know, our artist was unhappy about his name always coming second. So for this issue, his name comes first." And it's like, art by this guy, written by Stan Lee in massive letters. So, like, artist name, art by the artist name, and then, like, the regular, like, the normal font that they would use for the credits, and then written by Stan Lee, and they, his in a like 3 times the size, like a font 3 times the size, to be like, I'm still the one who matters. Like, it really came across as, you want to go first? Sure. But I'm still the one they're paying for. I'm still the important person. Lee really could be like that sometimes. And he did often, like, he did often, credit the artist as well. Like, he did often stress that, you know, the artists were deserved credit and everything. But at the same time, he was more than happy to be the face of Marvel Comics. As I said, though, part of that was that the artists themselves weren't getting out there. The artists themselves were not really looking for attention. Steve Ditko, even in the 60s, Steve Ditko was very, very reclusive. Even more so after he left Marvel Comics. But even at the time, Steve Ditko was a really reclusive dude. And Jack Kirby was not going out to colleges. Yeah. I'm gonna get more water. I'll be back in a minute. That we never get to the graphic novels today. Yeah. All this to say, thanks, Buzz. All this to say that basically anything Stanley ever said had to be taken with a huge grain of salt. Like, genuinely, anything he said, you'd have to take with a grain of salt because, like, he was a storyteller and he was his own protagonist. Good night, Jamie. Yeah, not to disrespect the guy, but yeah. That's not about great. Like I said, it's just like I said, he like, I mean, he could be dishonest at times. Not necessarily out of malice, but just because you know sometimes a lie makes for a better story than the truth. Like I said, I mean, it's like I mean, it's the old stereotype about fishermen. The fish that got away gets bigger every time, every telling of the story. Like when fishermen talk about some fish that got away, it gets bigger every single telling of the story. The struggle more intense, and what was originally a story, what was originally just like made Pop Tarts, cool, cool. Like originally it was just a normal sized fish, like a normal sized fish that just happened to get away after 15 seconds of trying to reel it in, and the hook popped off. Like guy goes fishing, catches a fish, catches on, it's regular fish, and the hook falls off after 15 seconds. Like that's like what actually happened. But then 10 years down the line, it was you know 20 pounds if it was an ounce, and he battled with it for an hour, and he battled with it for hours, and husband made chicken stir fried. I must say, it's delicious. Yum yum. Does sound good. Pause. Some bitch ate my fate. Date tomorrow on Meantime. Yeah, maybe. We'll see. I mean, I'll be working. That's the thing. I'm gonna be working, so I mean, it's like I won't be able to check my email until midnight. I don't fish I catch. I can't check your email when working. Because I don't remember my password. Because I can never remember my password, so checking it on my phone is awkward. And like, it's the way it works. It's kind of a I want to do it. Oh. Good night, Catherine. How do I explain it? So whenever I access the systems, I'm not accessing it from. Dave is going with her. Dave will go with her. It's really his cat. Yeah, so like, so whenever I access the work systems, it's not from my desktop. It's like a virtual desktop kind of thing. So yeah, it's just it's tough to. So yeah, I probably won't really be able to. I don't think I'll be able to check my email until after I finish work. Yeah, yeah, 5 to midnight tomorrow. Just happened to open Webtoon on my phone. Just sit there. Webcomic I used to read on Webtoon just updated. Last update was December of 2022. And it just updated tonight. That's a long fucking hiatus. That's over 3 years. Always funny when that happens. My comic just randomly comes back. I don't blame them for going on hiatus. They're not making money off Webtoon. Artists, cartoonists do not make money off Webtoon. They've got to prioritize whatever pays the bills. And they get shit going on in their lives. It's just funny that after over 3 years, it's randomly new episode, new strip. Jesus Christ, I'd forgotten you even existed. Used all the theirs in that sentence. That's pretty funny. That is pretty funny, Uncle Buck. What was he? Kingsley? He's pretty old. Don't know exactly. I think over 15. I think he's over 15 years old, maybe 16, 17. Maybe 17 years old or something, maybe. Pretty sure my brother got him when I was still, first time when I was living with Chantel the first time. Maybe around, I think maybe 16 or so. Between 16 and 18. Could say over 15, but yeah. Time for a furry friendship one. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, he was never really my cat. Yeah, I definitely liked the guy well enough. I liked the guy. But no, he never quite bonded with me. Back when I was living with my mom, he didn't really spend much time with me. Yeah. Can't handle losing another fur baby. Fair enough. So blanket my bed and Katana's making biscuits on it. Aw. Pretty satisfying to make blanket biscuits. I don't want to say in advance, Shelly. Don't want to say in advance where I'm going. Red House Sherlock. Going to Jack Lee's. I will say it is not Jack Lee's. That is all spoil is that it's not Jack Lee's. That'd be a deeply mediocre place to go for a birthday dinner as an adult. Because Jack Lee's honestly isn't particularly great. I'm not getting rice. I don't even want to say what the place has for food. Pretty sure I have decided what I'm gonna get, but I'm not gonna say like what they even have. You'll find out Sunday. You will all find out on Sunday what I had. Lasagna? I've never been keen on lasagna, honestly. It's not something I really like that much. Shrimp scampi? No. Big fat juicy burger. I mean, a bit classless for my birthday. Kind of feel like watching a movie tonight, but I don't know what movie I'd want to watch. That one's a movie? Yeah, that one's not on Netflix. Not in Canada, Buttercup.
Deep, deep, deep under the.
I might actually watch Ruby Gilman Teenage Kraken. I finished all of the My Little Pony that's on Netflix, or at least like the all of Friendship is Magic that's on Netflix. Um, yeah, they only had the first 4 seasons on there, so I might let my Netflix subscription can't expire for a while. And if I'm gonna let it expire, may as well watch a few things that are on there beforehand. Yeah. Maybe I'll watch Ruby Gilman Teen Kraken. Or Teenage Kraken. Not to react to, I'll do a review of it, but won't do like a reaction to it. Did record a reaction last night to My Little Pony Rainbow Rocks. Now that Buttercup's subscription has expired, now that Buttercup's free trial for Patreon has expired, she'll need to wait a month for that. If we have to watch lately, yeah. Usually get birthday gifts from your mom. Yeah, you usually get something. Yeah, birthday tomorrow. Tomorrow is my birthday and also my reaction to My Little Pony Equestria Girls. Anyway, I am going to get going, so thanks for coming. See you all Sunday. Good night.